In this video, I'm really excited to be introducing one of the most important concepts in Java programming, and that is objects. Not all programming languages use objects, as there are two main types of programming language categories: procedural programming languages and object-oriented programming languages. To keep it simple, procedural programming is when you do not use objects, and object-oriented programming is when you do use objects. In Java, you can do both, because in all previous videos so far, we did not use objects. So with Java, you do not need to use objects. However, Java was designed from its beginning, which was in the 1990s, to use objects. Objects are awesome. So you should always try to use objects because they usually make your program easier to understand. So what is an object? An object is a person, place, thing, or an idea. If this was an English class, I would define an object as a noun. Let's look at an example. The object I'm going to create for this example is a bank account. First, to define an object, create a new class. Right-click on the package and go to New Class. For the name, enter the name of the object, in this case, bank account. Class name should always begin with an uppercase letter and contain no spaces. An important note, a program can only have one public static void main method. So do not check this box when making this class, and then click Finish. An object has three parts. The first part are the variables, fields, properties, or characteristics of the object. The second part is the constructor, which is used for setting up or initializing the object. The third part are the methods, which can be thought of as the actions for the object. When thinking about the characteristics of a bank account, here are three variables that I thought of: an int for an account number, double for a balance, and string for an owner name. There could be many others, but we'll start with these three. Once you have completed defining your variables for your object, it is good practice to add the word private before each variable. This makes it so that these variables can only be used in this object. I'll talk more about this in a future video. The next two items, the constructor and methods, might be a little difficult to understand. However, I'll explain them briefly now and again in future videos. For the constructor, start with the word public, so it can be used by your main method in program 11. The constructor is a way to initialize the property values defined in part 1. When creating a bank account object, the account number and owner name will be passed into the object. To initialize the account number and owner name, and the balance will start with 0. In this last section, the methods, they are the actions that you want the bank account to take or be able to do. In other programming languages, these are often called functions. In Java, they are called methods. So one of the first actions you can think of a bank account is add an amount to a balance. And so a method would look something like the following. The method takes in an amount, which is called the input parameter. It adds the amount to the class balance variable, and then stores the result back into the balance. And then it returns this balance value as a double. This is what the double means after the public. It is the data type that is being returned by the method. I will also add a few getter methods to get the other properties in this class, such as getAccountNumber, which returns the account number, and getOwnerName, which returns the owner name. You can make as many methods as you want, but I'll start with just these few. So now in my main method in my program 11 class, I can do something like the following. Bank account, account1 equals new bank account, and then pass in the values to my constructor, 1 and Bob Brown. Then I can create a second bank account and call it account2, and again do new bank account, but this time pass in a different account number and a different owner name, Jeff Jones. So recall the bank account takes the account number and the owner name to the constructor when creating the object. The bank account class constructor has two input parameters. The first is the account number, and the second is the owner name. So to create an object, I do new, and then the name of the object, and then the values passed to the constructor in the correct order. So the account number and the name. So notice the class is like a blueprint. I can create multiple different bank account objects with the class, just like I can create a bunch of houses with the same blueprint. Now I can use these variables to execute the methods. For example, with account1, I can run the method getAccountNumber, and then I can run the method getOwnerName, and then add 100 to the balance, and then add 50 to the balance, and output the value. So if I save my changes, I can execute these methods, and we'll see what happens. Notice account1.getAccountNumber returns 1, account1.getOwnerName returns Bob Brown, which are the two values I passed in as the constructor values. And then when I added 100 to the balance and then again added 50 to the balance, my new total of the balance is 150. Now when I look at account 2 and run this, I get different results. Even though I'm using the same bank account object, I have two different instances of this object. For bank account 1, I have the account number 1, I have the owner name Bob Brown, and I have the account balance of 150. For account number 2, I have the account number 2, the owner name Jeff Jones, and the account balance of 1, because I've executed the method account2 and added to the balance the number 1. It's the same functionality. Both are following the same bank account class design, but two separate objects with different values. I understand I went over everything quite fast, but I will be talking a lot more about objects in future videos, so don't worry if not everything made sense. Now let's take a look at the instructions for Program 11, which will let you try to use objects on your own. The title of this program is Introduction to Objects, and the objective is to create two class files in your package for Program 11. The first called program11.java and the second called numberpair.java. Copy the contents from the following link. Here's the link, and paste them into the class file numberpair.java. In the file program11.java, write the code that first creates the instance of a number pair object by using new and passes in the numbers 10 and 2 to the constructor. Second, use all the methods in the number pair object to output a result that matches the following: 10 plus 2 equals 12, 10 minus 2 equals 8, 10 times 2 equals 20, and 10 divided by 2 equals 5. If the link does not work, you can go over to the left side here, click number pair, and this is the object. So if I copy this, Control A to select all, Control C to copy, and then in your Eclipse, right click on the package, go to New, and then Class, and type in number pair, and then select Finish. Select Control A, and then Control V to paste the contents of the number pair object from the example. Looking at the number pair object briefly, we can see it has two double variables, num1 and num2. The constructor takes the two double parameters to initialize num1 and num2, and then there are several methods: sum, subtract, multiply, divide, get num1, and get num2. As always, to begin working on this program, first create a new workspace for Program 11 by following the instructions in my video with the title Create a New Programming Project, or watching the solution to Program 2. To view additional materials and the solution code for this program, visit the Java in a Jiffy website at www.javainajiffy.com/programs/11. Once you have completed this program, watch my solution video where I discuss the solutions code and highlight any important concepts and techniques. If you found this video helpful, please click the like button. To help support this channel, please click the subscribe button. Thanks for watching.